Yeah, we are on YouTube, so we can start. Good afternoon, YouTube. We are here for another English version. The topic of today is healthy digital habits. So we are going to talk a little bit about this. But before to start with the questions, I will explain a little bit about the platform for you that are watching us on YouTube to understand how Talk and Talk works and how this kind of information works, okay? So Talk and Talk, in a general way, it's a conversation platform for beginner, intermediate, or advanced speakers. So the focus here is to talk and practice and have nice conversations about real topics. And the main point here is this kind of immersion is not a regular class. I'm not an English teacher or a language teacher at all. I'm here as well to speak in English and develop my English skills. But in a general way, you all will learn by practice in a real environment with a real topic, and that's the main idea here, okay? Develop your fluency and your confidence as well. Besides English, we have a lot of other language like Spanish, French, Italian, Chinese, and German, I guess, or I don't know. But you can see that all of that on the Talk and Talk website. Okay, so that's the idea of about the platform. So let's start with the question number one. How many hours a day do you spend using digital devices, and do you think it's too much, this amount of hours? What do you think, Victor? I'll start with you.
Let me see, man. I'll be honest. I spend more hours than I should. Uh, I would say I spend about 3 or 5 hours using digital devices. I think it is not good for me and not good for my health, and it's not good behavior to have. So I am trying to decrease this time, but I can't because a lot of things that I need and that I good and that is a lot of things that I like to see and I like to watch and I like to do and things that I have to know. I have to use the digital device. So because that I can decrease my time using digital device. That's it. It's too much. Yes.
But you said about 3 or 5 hours, right? So you are not considering working, right? So it's just for fun, this kind of time, this amount of time, right?
I would say the half time it is using for knowledge in another areas, and the other time it is for fun.
Yeah, that's in a general way, it's a lot of time, and I think it's complicated, right? Because when you think about social media or this kind of apps, it's so easy to just spend a lot of hours using that, and it's complicated. I feel the same. I use a lot. I try to not use it a lot. My cell phone, social media, and all this stuff, but it's complicated. Actually, uh, I was how can I say that in English? I was seeing on my cell phone the amount of hours that I spent yesterday using social media and in apps in a way in the health habits app. I think that's Samsung we have, and I spent like 2 hours using WhatsApp and more 2 hours using YouTube, for example, so that's kind of complicated because it's 4 hours on my day that I was using just for fun in a general way. Actually, I use YouTube also for study and um, watching videos in this kind of point, but it's a lot of time spent on your cell phone using WhatsApp, for example. It's complicated, but yeah, we try our best. It's complicated. And how about you, Catherine? What do you think about that?
Yeah, first of all, I I want to ask you to have a little more patience with me because I'm through my cell phone, so it's complicated. See
No
the
problem.
questions. But about the question, like you, I spend more time that I that I want in my cell phone, unfortunately. I have an app in my cell phone called Django. I think it's Django that can take the data about my time on my cell phone. Like you said, I spend a lot of time on WhatsApp and on social media, even though I restrict some apps like Instagram and Facebook. I still pass a lot of time, and some days in the end of the day, when I access this app, I can see that I spend like 7 hours on my cell phone. So it's it's very high, a very high time.
Yeah, actually, I was searching here. The app that I use is Bem-Estar Digital on Samsung smartphones, and it's kind of the same that you said about Django. I think it's we
Yeah.
have the amount of hours that we're using. There are a lot of data about what apps do you use and what
Mm-hmm.
categories do you use and how many hours you spent on your phone, for example. It's important to keep on track on that, for me, it's important to see that. And actually, I put a limit on using apps, for example, like Instagram. I put like 1 hour or 1 hour and a half on limit to use. So that's important for me. And I don't know, I think we sometimes we don't realize the amount of time that we are using the cell phone, and using these kind of apps. So it's a little bit complicated, I think.
Yeah, and
Uh,
sometimes you take your cell phone to do a productive thing like I don't know,
can you hear
watching
me?
some
I think
video
it's freezing
on
for you.
YouTube. Sorry,
It's my internet, actually. Hello.
Hello,
guys.
I'm here.
Yeah, me too. You can listen me?
Yes, I can. I believe he's fell down.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. You
Are
are
you
here.
back?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah. Now my mic is off. Let me see. Uh, Now can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
clearly. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I actually, first of all, I was disconnected. I don't know why. Maybe my internet. And after that, my mic wasn't working. So now I think it's okay. Can you hear me well, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know when we in the moment that I was disconnected, but I think I was talking about the app about of Samsung, just to put limit on my use of apps and all this idea. And I think Catherine was saying something, I guess.
Yeah, but now I I can't remember.
Okay, no,
Just go on.
okay, no problem, no problem. So, let me ask you another question. You both actually. Uh, what apps do you use the most, and do you think it's like important to just put a limit or not use so much, and you get like angry about to use that? Let me know, Victor.
Uh, I would say the Instagram. I don't like Instagram, but I have to use because without it, I don't know what my friends are doing, you know?
Yeah.
But I have some health habits on Instagram. For example, I don't follow any famous people. I don't
Amazing.
like I don't follow any famous people. Uh, I don't use the I don't use the how can I say this? There is a button in the right
Reels?
Reels. I don't use Reels, and I don't scroll the screen for a long time. But I like to see the stories because I know about my friends. But even this habit is not good because I spend a lot of time on it. And my friends also send me reels, and sometimes I have to see because it's important to socialize.
Exactly. It's difficult to not using that, you know. All of people use that, so they use Reels send us, so it's kind of impossible not to see Reels and not to just use Instagram on this idea. It's complicated, but um I think it's important what you said about not using Reels in a passive way, you know, just click on the button and just keep scrolling on Reels all the time. It's important because you spend a lot of time on that. I try to not to do that, but it's also complicated because all of the social media right now have this kind of feature, you know, YouTube, for example, TikTok is all of that, Instagram. So all social media that you use, maybe it has a Reels idea or short videos, you know. So it's
But
complicated.
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
but in the beginning of this kind of thing, I don't use. So right now, I don't like any kind of that solutions. And for me, social media should seem like Orkut. For example,
Nice.
sometimes I am on Facebook a lot because Facebook there is communities and
Yeah.
groups. I like
Oh.
to read a lot the texts and the message and stuff like that because there is a community, there is a group on that, and the discussion can be good for you because there is good information on there. So I don't consume any kind of social media with Reels. Even the LinkedIn right now is using Reels too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
there is
didn't know that.
it's it's horrible, man.
I didn't know that on LinkedIn actually. That's crazy. That's crazy. And as I said before, all of the social media are implementing these or using that. So it's complicated. It's just complicated. I try to avoid the use, but it's complicated. But I understand your point. You are used to not use like the short videos. You are used to use like community points and text discussions, right? So that's nice. Actually, I don't use Facebook anymore. I don't know how is that working right now. But nowadays I'm using more Reddit. You know, I don't know if you
And it is
know
very
that. It's nice. It's nice. There's a lot of discussions there. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's actually after the block of Twitter in Brazil, I started to use Reddit, and right now I'm using more Reddit than Twitter. So I have uninstalled the Twitter app, for example. So that's nice. That's a nice app, Reddit, I think, to
Redis
do a
is
discussion.
from Instagram, right?
No, Reddit. Actually, I don't know. Maybe yeah, but I don't think
No, no,
so.
I think
Reddit.
it's I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Threads is from Instagram, but the one
Yeah.
that we are talking is Reddit. It's like that.
Ah, okay.
That is
It's
a
another
app. Yeah,
another
there's
one.
another one. Yeah, that's
Reddit seems
focus
like
on
Twitter.
discussions. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You
I
you
think
put
they.
a you
Yeah, go
put a
ahead.
information on a blog, and the people
Mm.
comment below that blog.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
works like that.
exactly. But I think the main difference that Reddit doesn't have the how can I say that the feed, the scroll feed, right? I guess it's
Yeah.
all focused on this kind of grouped discussions, I guess. So it's nice. Actually, it's nice. I don't like I don't like this kind of infinite feed, that we are just scrolling because it's like infinity. So it's complicated. We spent a lot of time on that. So because of that, I like the Reddit to use that. It's amazing. And let me know, Catherine, what apps do you use the most, for example, and you don't like, maybe use that, or you want to change? Let me know.
Yeah, according to my cell phone, the the app that I use, I would say it would be WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is so necessary that I I eliminate this option. So I would say that the app that I really spend a lot of time is YouTube, because YouTube is not a social media. It's a social media, but for me, it's not a social media. I used to search for some information or for doing I work in my college, something like that. But the algorithm from YouTube is very bad and dedicated me a lot of interesting things to watching. And when I noticed, I'm watching another video and another, and I forgot what I searching. So yeah, it's complicated because it's not a social media, but it's like a social media for me because I I can see myself arrested by this app. So
Yeah, actually, I really don't know the exactly definition of social media, but I think YouTube is a little bit different because we don't have this directly interaction
mhm.
compared to Instagram or Facebook or the others. It's just more focused on videos and you can comment on that and is that it's enough. But actually, I consider YouTube a social media, and actually, for me, in my opinion, is the best social media that we have because you can learn a lot of things on YouTube. I just love it because you can search just like I don't know, you can search about programming in my case to learn something and to see a lot of videos about that and to get a solution on my problem. And you can also search about, I don't know, how to how to wash your clothes in a good way, or just how can I cook something. It's amazing. You can search about everything. So YouTube for me it's amazing, but it's also complicated because we have this kind of entertainment content and this kind of shorts, and you can also spend a lot of hours on that. So it's complicated. I think it's not so complicated as Instagram in my case. I For me Instagram is the worst for me, the reels and all this stuff. But yeah, it's complicated. It's just complicated to change. I think to not use that, as Victor said, all of our friends are using Instagram, so it's complicated to keep out of this use. So yeah, it's complicated. But okay, let's go to the question number two. It's actually a little bit different question. We are talking about the bad points, about that. So let me know about the good points that you do, for example. What digital habits do you consider healthy? And you do that. I'll start with you, Catherine. What do you think?
Digital habits, right?
Yeah, good,
I think
good
some,
habits.
yeah, there is a lot of apps very useful. So, like you mentioned, YouTube is, yeah, it's kind of an app too that you can learning from this app. And I know there is apps that is the goal is about productive, so you can have a productive life with using this kind of app, and you can use some apps to organize your life and participate in good things like now. Yeah, I think it's that, guys. And you, Victor?
Oh, I will be more wild than you, because for me, we have to put our smartphones on the trash. I think we have to come. I think you have to go back to the time when I just uh, when I just could have access to internet on notebooks, on computers, or stuff like that. I don't like to. I don't like to. I don't like to. I don't like the idea to. I don't like the idea that what we can access the internet in everywhere. You know, I think it is not good for us. It's not good for me. It's not good for my family, for kids. I think when the computer when the computer was the only way to access internet, it was good. It was better than now, because we have to put our attention only for a few moments or a few hours, for a few hours, and we have to keep our attention in a position, in a specific period of the time, in a specific place on the house, you know. And now we can use internet in everywhere. It's not good. For me, the only digital habits that we have, it would be put out our smartphone.
You are so radical.
I,
Yeah, because if you think a little, we are almost the first generation that grew up with technology. In my case, when I was a kid, I even have the internet. I even have the access of internet. So I think everything is so new that we are still learning how to deal with that. So yeah.
for me, when I just when I was using internet only on PC, is better, special relationships, you know, relationship with friends. Man, I have an example here in my house. My brother has a friend, the best friends of him, and they just talk with each other for the console, for the computer, for the message, and they live my brother lives in front of his friend. You know, it's crazy for me. I can't imagine a situation like that, and it happens because they have access on internet in everywhere. That's
Yeah,
it.
but if I don't know the age of your brother, but I'm an adult now, so it's very difficult to keep the contact with others' friends. So without the internet, I think I can't keep this contact, because everyone have a hurry life, and when I talk to another person using the WhatsApp, for me is amazing.
You're right,
So
but they are kids, and it's
yeah,
insane.
yeah, it's complicated.
I understand your point. I think the best part of the internet, it is keep contact with people far from you. I
Mhm.
agree with that. It's very good.
So we have now a lot of new laws. Yeah, I think it's laws. This to protect kids from the internet, from the computers and cell phones. So maybe this can change because kids are not prepared to deal with Um, the old of the internet, is very dangerous and it's not so good for the brain. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you both. The point of internet and technology is the access that we have, you know. It's nice. For example, we are here talking with other people from far away from us. For example, I'm here in Recife, Victor are on São Paulo, I guess, and Catherine in Rio, and we can stay here talking in English and practice English and doing all of this by using internet and this kind of connection, and that's nice. That's amazing. The positive point of technology using on that. For example, if you live far away from your family, for example, it's nice to have internet to connect with them. But the problem is related to we like skip and forgot the real life when we have technology, you know. I think as Victor said, his brother was with his friend in the same room, I guess, in the same place, talking with each other with smartphone, you know. So that's crazy. You have another person right of you, and you couldn't speak with him without technology, you know. So
But
that's crazy. That's crazy.
you
Yeah,
can realize that the problem is not the internet, and in fact the problem is the behavior.
yeah, exactly.
So when the TV, I forgot how to say surgiu, but
Come
yeah,
up. Yes.
yeah, when the TV came for for your lives,
Mhm.
a lot of people pass a lot like you very hours in front of the TV, and now we just migrate for the computer and now migrate for the cell phone. So the problem is not the technology, it's the behavior. At least for me.
You you are not completely right because even in that case, TV were in a specific place. You have to separate a specific time to do it. You have to wait to a specific program on TV, you know. And now we don't have to wait for that. Everything it is on the everything.
Now you control.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can control, and everything it is on our hand.
Yeah. Exactly that. And I think we all agree that it's not about technology so bad and we can like live without that in a general way. So maybe it could be the easy way to solve that, just not use. But I think when we have these kind of technologies that give us a lot of access all the time, all the day, you know, it's complicated to like control that use. So for me, that's the point. As Victor said, we have a smartphone on your hand, and we can have access to all the world all the time. So for us is like complicated to control this behavior of use, you know. It's like Instagram, the algorithm and all this kind of technology was developed for you us to like use that all the time, you know. That was
Mhm.
developed for that. So it is kind of point, and it's complicated for us to just control this use, you know. It's complicated. For example, the point of gambling, for example, the tigrinho that we are talking about a lot about this in Brazil, is not just the problem is not the technology and the app and all this stuff. It's both, you know. The app, it was developed for that, and we can like control a lot of people can control this behavior because it's complex, you know. It's not easy to talk about this in an immersion, but it's complicated to this balance of people and technology, I think. uh but okay, let's go to the the question number three. Have you ever taken a digital detox, and how was this experience? Or I don't know, have you ever deleted an app or uninstalled an app and all these kind of example? Let me know, Vito.
Yes, I have already been in that situation. Uh, it was in the last month because I was stolen and I lost my smartphone, and because that I passed 2 weeks without anything digital, and man, it was very good. My productive increased, and my attention got better. I had a lot of benefits because that. So when I bought a new smartphone, everything uh, everything disappeared.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you think we don't do that in a active way, you know?
Man, because as I said before, it's impossible because without it, I can I can control what's going on, and I don't know what happened with my friends, with the things, with family, you know. I don't like this sensation. I think we have to pay that price. The price to use technology, it is spend a little time with fun, with the things that is not important. But however, we get a lot of we get the knowledge about the things where what happened, and I think it is more important than spend time with things not important. uh, I I did I did a calculate of that, and I could I could gain more when I was using than when I wasn't using. You know?
Yeah. I I really agree with the point of it's complicated what not just know what's happened with your friend, for example, but when it happened with you and when did you were without your cell phone, for example, what did happen with this sensation that you have about I don't know what's happened with my friends?
Can you repeat? I don't understand the
Yeah.
last.
What did happen when you was without your cell phone with this sensation of, well, I don't know what's happened with my friends, you know? I don't know, you are without your cell phone for 2 weeks, I guess.
Yes.
So how was that for you?
It was not good for me because my friends looked for me in a different kind of communication. They send me emails, they send me a lot of other things, you know. And
Mhm.
when they are talking with me, I wasn't understand what happened, and it's not good, man. I don't like this sensation. And there is another point that I didn't talk. It is about nowadays everything's uh, should do with a smartphone. For example, bank account, authorization in apps. For example,
Yeah,
when I lost my cell phone, I had to do some things at work, and I had to use the two-factor 2FA app, and
yeah,
without I couldn't do.
yeah. This it's two-factor authentication, right?
Yes,
It's
2FA.
hard, but
And
yeah.
I could realize nowadays it's impossible to live without smartphone.
Yeah, I actually let me know Catherine's opinion, and after that I will give my opinion about this sensation because I have feeling I have felt the same with Twitter, for example. But Let me know, Catherine, what do you think about that? I don't know, have you ever taken a digital detox, for example? Let me know.
Yeah, I had. In the past, I choose. I think it's choose. Sorry, my grammar is horrible. So I choose, I choose that. So I just delete the app like Facebook, Instagram, and social apps in the general. And I give my password for my sister, so I delete and I can access in the other ways. Uh, was not so good to me because I really want to know what happened, like Vito. But in this year, I had to travel for a place that don't have signal, don't have the internet signal. So I have my cell phone, I have the password and the app on my cell phone, but I can access because I didn't have internet. So it's like a forced detox for more than 1 week. I passed without the internet and without access the social media, and it was amazing for me because I felt very very calm. Although I was in a beach, so yeah, can maybe this can help. But I feel like I felt very very calm, and I enjoyed the travel. So was very good for me.
Yeah. Actually, for me, it's kind of the same. It's amazing when you feel like you can do the things without being and using a smartphone, you know. It's an amazing feeling, I guess. For example, when Twitter was blocked here in Brazil, I actually stopped to use that. And I don't know how many weeks we have without we stay without Twitter, but I could realize that I can live without this kind of app or this kind of use, you know, this kind of technology. It's amazing, I think, this kind of feeling. So right now we have access again to Twitter, but I didn't install again the app, and I'm using just on the computer. You know, I think when I'm on computer, I use like some minutes, and that's okay. Because the problem for me it was using that on my smartphone. I have spent like I don't know, 3 hours using that every day maybe. So it's crazy. You spend when you spend like 2 hours on an app every day. It's unbelievable, you know. So I don't know. Maybe when we use an app and we think and realize that it's nice because you can live without using that. You know, I don't know if you felt like this sensation, but it's nice. It's a good point, I guess.
Yeah, and it's funny because you can spend a lot of time in one app like WhatsApp, but it's difficult to find time to do another thing, like you go to the gym or I don't know,
Exactly.
study. Like if you study like for 10 minutes per day, but you can
Mhm.
find this time because you use this time on WhatsApp, you know. So and you even notice that you use this time. So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the point, you know. It's just hard to study English on our everyday. It's hard to do that, to get to have consistency on this activity and study English every day. It's hard. It's hard to be here talking English and make mistakes and all this stuff, you know. But it's so easy to just keep scrolling on Instagram, on Reels
Mhm.
for I don't know 3, 4, 5 hours. So it's funny how our brain works, you know. It's really funny. perception of time is relative in this kind of point,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, it's crazy. But you know, I think the problem is we do a lot of things in a passive way, you know. So that's the point, I guess. But okay, that's the challenge, I think. Let's go. Uh Actually, I'm bring the guys back here for the main room, so I don't think we have time for other questions in this time, but I would like to ask you, Victor, what did you think about this kind of information? Actually, we use a little bit questions, some questions actually, but that's the idea. It's just a guide. It's not mandatory to follow all of that. And the conversation, it was great. So that's the point. So let me know, Victor, what did you think about this kind of information, this kind of topic? You're muted.
It was very good. I like the subject. I think we have to think a lot about this kind of thing because it's a important topic in society nowadays. It was very good to me.
Amazing, amazing. And what did you think, Catherine, about this topic, this kind of information? Let me know.
Yeah, it was very productive for me because you were in the yesterday immersion, right? Right?
Yeah, yeah. The Leandro's immersion. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was.
and I think the topic is very similar.
Yeah,
So even though you don't answer the questions, all the questions, I think it don't doesn't matter because we discussed a lot and I think a lot about this subject. So thank you, Victor, for being here. And that's it.
amazing, amazing. So welcome back, guys, to the main room. So let me know, what did you think about this immersion? How was that on the breakout room? Let me know, Diogo. What did you think?
It was great. The Pedrito and Juliana are very nice guys. The topic is interesting because we are using nowadays technology, our devices, and important to think about this, how the technology it's improve or not in your life. We how we usually nowadays the choose for our benefits because I think that depend about which person how to do use these technologies, these tools for better or not our life. I think that
Amazing, amazing. And how about you, Pedrito? Let me know.
Yes, for sure, it is to contribute for uh, our lives, and the subject was so good, and the guys in the room is very good. We have a very good conversation, and we can uh, heard other stories and point of views about technology and how we use this in our daily routines, and even to improve with our family, some things, restrictions about kids and teenagers. It's so good.
Amazing, amazing. And what about you, Juliana? What did you think? Let me know.
I really like this conversation, talk about technology and health habits. It's very good because we can think more about what we do and what we are supposed to do to improve the situation, you know, and about technology, about restriction, about a lot of things. So I think it was very good to have a talk.
Awesome, awesome. So, guys, I would like to share here on the chat the link of the survey. As you know, it's an anonymous survey. You can say what did you think about the immersion. and I don't know, suggest another topics that you want to talk about. Okay, so yeah, that's the idea. I hope you enjoy the conversation, and I hope see you on the next time. Okay, so thank you and bye bye.